globally. And on that note, let's kickstart the show, Shreyansi. Lots has been happening on Wall Street lately.
Well, absolutely. Lots has been happening on Wall Street. Firstly, when you take a look at the move coming in on a weekly basis, you did have at the end of Thursday and Friday, you did have the Wall Street ending the week in the red. So when you take a look at the Dow, that finished down 2.5% for its worst weekly performance since October. So not a good week coming in for all three indices. In fact, when you take a look at the S&P 500, that was down 1.7% thereabout, and Nasdaq Composite as well, down 2.5% for the week. Now, that's the kind of the weekly move that you have coming in. But the week ahead, of course, includes key readings on the corporate earnings and the economy. So in terms of earnings reports, you do have Home Depot. That is something that we're going to be looking out for a better sense of how US consumers are faring. And you do have Nvidia's report. That one's going to be even more impactful, as you do have the artificial intelligence linked chip maker that is still one of the biggest stocks by market cap. So definitely something to watch out for this week. And this is, of course, Nvidia's first earnings report since the emergence of the DeepSeek large language model. So that is also something that we're watching out for on the macroeconomic front. You do have January reading of the Personal Consumption Expenditures Index, which is the Federal Reserve's preferred gauge of inflation as well. On your screens, you can see the macro check as well at this point. When you take a look at the business activity for the month of February, that was at a 17-month low, home builder sentiment at a 5-month low, and even the one-year inflation estimate at a 15-month high. In fact, the slide for stocks last week came amid renewed concerns about economic growth in the US, so definitely something that we're looking at by the way of factors.
Absolutely, big cuts coming in on Wall Street over the course of the trading session on Friday. That was not holding up well. On that note, let's also take a look at what crude prices have done. Oil prices have settled down more than $2 a barrel on Friday. Some cuts being seen on that front as well, posting a weekly decline as investors grappled with a fading Middle East risk premium alongside uncertainty about a potential peace deal in Ukraine. Brent futures settled down $2 or 2.7% to 74.43. So we're sub that 75 mark, while US West Texas Intermediate Crude, that's your WTI, settled down another $2 or almost 3% to 70.4. If you take a look at what these indices have done over the course of the week, Brent has settled 0.4% lower for the week, while US crude futures have posted a 0.5% weekly loss. Investors also continue to weigh an uptick in US crude oil stockpiles reported on Thursday as seasonal maintenance at refineries led to lower processing. This is what the EIA has said. And US energy firms this week added oil and natural gas rigs for the fourth week in a row to the highest level since June, energy services firm Baker Hughes has said in a report on Friday. The oil and gas rig count, which is an early indicator of the future output, rose by 4 to 592 in the week ending February 21. Traders' focus was also on oil supply disruption, however, capping some losses on that side. You've also had the entire Ukrainian drone attack for Russia, for which it exports its crude from Kazakhstan. So that was a big attack coming in. That has also helped support crude prices over the course of the week. On the flip side, on the demand front, JP Morgan analysts expect cold weather in the US and a post-holiday increase to industrial activity in China to contribute more demand in the coming weeks. So prices could be seen coming up. We have a couple of factors that are pointing to that. Also, today is going to be an important meeting in Kyiv, which is in Ukraine. You have Zelensky, who's going to be hosting leaders of 13 nations coming in. Also, the conflict that's escalated with Donald Trump over the course of the weekend could see some retaliatory action coming in, and who knows what that could pan out to be like for these oil prices. But over the course of the week, we've seen cuts coming in on Friday as well as the week that went by.